Hi boys and girls, today we're going to hear Toys Go Out, Chapter 2. Here we go. The serious problem of plasticness. The room with the high bed and the fluffy pillows has bookshelves. Plastic never paid much attention to them before, but now she thinks they are interesting. Most of the shelves hold storybooks, but the bottom one has school books on it. Books about animals, the meanings of words, the size of oceans, and the ways of plants. When you've been to school like I have, says Stingray, interrupting one evening, as Plastic is looking curiously at the shelves. When you've gone to show and tell and seen the classroom and all the important things they have in there, then you know that books are a place to find out truths. Truths about what? Asked Plastic. Just truths, says Stingray, positioning herself proudly in front of the books. Like, what is 2 and 2? 4, pipes up Lumpy, who is watching the sunset from the windowsill nearby. If we want the answer, explains Stingray, as if she hasn't heard him, we can look it up. Truths like these are in books. That's what you learn in school, if you've been to school like I have. We were all at school, mutters Lumpy, who is still on the windowsill. Plastic wants to know which book would have that truth inside about 2 and 2. A book on money, says Stingray. It tells you how to be rich and famous and how to fill up your really big swimming pool with liquid gold and how to eat expensive chocolates for breakfast and have banquets for hundreds of your best friends and how to swing from chandeliers made from diamonds, and also how to count numbers together, if that is the kind of truth you are after. How is that a truth, calls Lumpy. Okay, a fact then. Facts are in books, if you've been to school, like I have. Ahem, coughs Lumpy. I was right there next to you. Don't you remember? Where? At school. Time for bed, Stingray says importantly. The little girl comes into the bedroom and lifts her up to sleep on the high bed with the fluffy pillows, while Lumpy and Plastic stay where they are. Let's find the book on money, suggests Plastic, when the lights are out and both Stingray and the girl are asleep. Lumpy makes a grouchy noise. Now that it's night and the girl can't see him moving around, he wants to go down the hall to visit Tuk Tuk, the yellow towel who lives in the bathroom. Tuk Tuk always has something interesting to say. She sees a lot of strange behavior in her life as a towel, although she doesn't get out much. Lumpy particularly likes to hear about toothbrushing and fingernail clipping, things he is not sure he properly understands. I'm busy, he tells Plastic. So Plastic tries to get the one-eared sheep to look for the money book. Is there anything about grass in it? Sheep wants to know. I don't think so. It's the truths and facts of liquid gold in swimming pools. Anything about clover, she asks. Probably not, Plastic is forced to admit. If it's not going to be interesting, I'd just as soon skip it, Sheep says, kindly, and she goes to play marbles with the toy mice. Plastic looks at the books by herself, reading the titles on the spines. One explains the meaning of words. One is full of maps. Another is about the wonderful world of plants. But there isn't any book on old swimming pools. And even if there was one, plastic could not pull it out from the shelf. Only one book lies open on the floor so that she can read it. A book about animals with pictures and details about how they live, where they eat, what they eat, and where they sleep at night. Plastic finds the part about stingrays. They live in the ocean and flap their flipper wings like birds in the sky. She reads about sheep and how their woolly coats get shorn. She reads about mice who are part of the rodent family, and she reads a good deal about buffaloes and how they run around in herds. Ooh, she realizes, I can read about plastics, but plastics aren't there. She looks again. They still aren't there. Then plastic goes page by page through the animal book, looking at every picture of every single animal. None of them look like her. Ladybugs are round and red, but plastic doesn't have wings like a ladybug. Turtles are round when their legs are inside their shells, but plastic does not have a hard shell or any kind of shell at all. Hedgehogs are round when they curl themselves in balls, but plastic is not spiny like a hedgehog. People say foxes are red, but really they are much more orange anyway. Plastic knows she is not a fox. She is not even sure she has a nose. Where are the plastics, she wonders. And she calls the toy mice over to help her pull out the book on the meanings of words. The mice skitter off as soon as they are done, leaving Plastic alone with the book. It is called a dictionary. She finds the P's and reads, plastic, a material produced by polymeri something or other, a very long word. But where do we live, wonders Plastic. What do we like to eat? She reads on. Plastic, capable of being shaped or formed, also artificial. Plastic doesn't know what artificial means, so she looks that up too. Fake, says the dictionary, not natural. Artificial does not sound nice at all. Plastic scoots under the high bed and doesn't come out for hours. When he gets back from visiting Tuk-Tuk the towel, Lumpy finds Plastic and crawls under the bed next to her. Did you know the little girl puts a piece of waxy string in between her teeth every night before bed, he asks? It's called dental floss. No, Plastic didn't know. I wouldn't want string between my teeth, says Lumpy. Plastic is not sure she even has teeth. Especially not with wax, says Lumpy. Maybe it feels nice, suggests Plastic. You never know until you try. I know without trying, says Lumpy. Could it be a cleaning thing since she does it in the bathroom? No, says Lumpy. What could you clean with a piece of string? Plastic doesn't know. All this cleaning, I don't see what it's all about anyway, Lumpy adds. Plastic tells Lumpy about the dictionary and how it says that plastics are artificial. Lumpy scratches his ear and turns around 3 times in the spot where he plans to sleep. You don't say what you really think, he says finally. You pretend everything's all right when it isn't. So that's artificial. Well, what about polymeri something or other? Lumpy curls himself into a ball. It's too late to discuss big words, and he closes his eyes. Plastic Plastic is the tiniest bit angry. Real buffaloes are interested in other people's problems, she says. Real buffaloes don't sleep when someone is talking to them. I read it in a book. Lumpy lifts his head. His face looks nervous. What do you mean, real buffaloes? Suddenly plastic feels like she isn't being very nice. And whatever plastics are, she wants to be a good one. Nothing, she answers, never mind. I need to know the truth about plastics, Plastic confesses to Stingray the next morning as they are sunning themselves in a square of light on the shaggy rug. I can't find it in a book. Well, what do you need to know? Asked Stingray kindly. I'm sure I can answer. Their natural habitat, says Plastic, and what they eat, and whether they are birds or fish or mammals. Oh, mammals, definitely, answers Stingray, who doesn't actually know at all. They're very furry, Plastics, and their natural habitat is the frozen tundra, where icicles grow up from the ground and the wind whistles, and it's dark 30 hours a day in winter. The Plastics live in igloos that they build with their teeth, and they eat whale meat and also seals and walruses that they catch and swallow whole. Does that help? I think it's a pretty thorough answer. Oh yes, thank you, says Plastic with a bit of a sniffle. I just wonder, she mentions, I'm not very furry. Oh, you probably lost your fur in an accident, says Stingray. But it doesn't look bad at all, though, really. Plastic tries to remember a fur-losing accident, but it must have slipped her mind. After 7 hours in front of the television, Plastic is as confused as ever. She has watched 4 cooking shows, 2 soap operas, endless commercials, and 1 after-school special. She knows that there are plastic cups and forks and containers, and that these things are useful for taking on picnics and freezing leftover stew, and that a delightful tofu marinade can be made with only 6 ingredients. She also knows there are plastic toys and may contain small plastic parts, the commercial says, not suitable for children under 3, and plastic garbage bags. But she hasn't seen any of the Plastics eating whale meat or living in igloos or growing fur, though maybe the fur is hard to see on the small television screen. In any case, all the Plastics look different. Most of them aren't even red. There isn't any herd like there are herds of buffaloes. The Plastics don't build dams or collect pollen or live in tunnels. They do appear to be famous, and yet there are no Plastics to whom Plastic feels connected. None of them seem to have anything in common besides their plasticness, which isn't much. For 4 days and 4 nights, Plastic feels unbouncy. She doesn't play marbles with the one-eared sheep. She doesn't make jokes with the rocking horse in the corner. And she doesn't play I Doubt It with Lumpy or checkers with Stingray. She looks out the window by herself and thinks about plasticness. On the 5th night, Plastic remembers Tuck Tuck, the towel, knows about dental floss and fingernail clippings. Maybe she knows about Plastic too. Plastic has only met Tuck Tuck once before, and she feels embarrassed as she creeps down the hall and stops outside the bathroom door. Maybe Tuck Tuck will not want a visit from a small, confused Plastic. After all, she is used to large and furry friends like Lumpy. But Plastic can't go on anymore, staring out the window, doing nothing all night. Slowly, she enters the bathroom. Tuk-Tuk is lying in a pile. The nightlight in the bathroom glows a comforting pink, and the air is still warm from the little girl's bath. "Oh, excuse my appearance," says Tuk-Tuk, who can't get around on her own. "Plastic, isn't it? I'm always like this after the bath, damp, on the floor. I'd like an iron and a fold, but this disarray is all that can be managed. Glad to see you nonetheless." Plastic begins to cry. Tuk-Tuk seems like everything a towel should be. So nice, so floppy, and just so very towely. "Oh, Plastic," soothes Tuk-Tuk. There. Come, wipe yourself on my corner. I don't mind." Plastic has a good long cry and feels a little better. "I'm a rotten plastic," she sniffs to Tuk-Tuk. "I've lost my fur. I don't know my habitat or my eating habits, or whether I build a nest or run in a herd. I'm not even sure I like what plastics are anyway." A big tear rolls onto the bathroom tile, and she begins mumbling about fake, artificial, and polymerase something or other. "Oh, my dear," comforts Tuk-Tuk, "you are upset about nothing." "It's not nothing. It's plasticness." "Listen," says Tuk-Tuk. "I have something to tell you." "You do?" "Yes. It's important. Are you ready?" Plastic thinks she is ready. "You are not a plastic." "I'm not?" Plastic isn't sure if she is happy or Plastic is just your name, says Tuk-Tuk. "It's obvious to anyone who knows anything precisely what you are." "It is?" "Of course. You are a rubber ball." "I am?" "I've seen balls before you. I've seen balls after you. A ball is what you are," says Tuk-Tuk. "Tell me, do you bounce?" "Yes," cries Plastic, "I do." And she bounces once very high for show. "And do you roll?" "Yes." Plastic rolls around the bathroom until she crashes into the base of the toilet. "And have you got front legs and back legs?" Not exactly," says Plastic, who most certainly doesn't have any. "And no fur whatsoever?" "No." "That's normal for a ball, you know." "What about how I don't have very much nose?" "You mean how you don't have any nose?" Yes," says Plastic. "That's normal too," explains Tuk-Tuk. Oh, Plastic feels so relieved. "I have been around a long time," says Tuk-Tuk, "and I have never seen a ball with fur or legs or a nose." "You're a ball, Plastic," says the towel, wrapping her terry cloth corners around her friend. "Don't let anyone tell you different." "I'm a ball," cries Plastic. "A ball, ball, ball." Suddenly she feels very bouncy again. Really, really bouncy. She jumps in the tub and rolls around super fast. She bounces herself so high she hits the ceiling. A ball. "Enough now. I need a rest," says Tuk-Tuk. "All right." Plastic stops bouncing for a second and gives the towel a kiss. Then she goes rolling, bouncing, rolling, bouncing, bounce, bounce, bouncing, down the hall to the bedroom. Okay, boys and girls, that's the end of chapter 2. More to come. Love you all.